Okay, in the last video we acquired our phone's IP address, we logged into the phone, we unregistered from the Fort Lauderdale system, and what we're about to do now is register our phone to the Salt Lake City phone system. And how do we do that? Well, very simple. In the you would have received an email from us that had a bunch of different information. The most important information was the actual walkthrough of how to do this, how to unregister off of one, register in another. These videos are more like a tool to help you along, as well as the printed instructions. And there's also a spreadsheet in that package that we emailed to you that looks something like this. And in this spreadsheet, what I have done, I have highlighted some information pertaining to me for this example. As you can see here, here's my name. Here's my so-called work extension, my phone login, the logical number, which we'll go into later, the IP sub address that my phone connects to. And you notice this is in green because this information here is relevant to the Fort Lauderdale login information. What we're going to do for the phone right now is put in information for the Salt Lake City phone system, which that information, as highlighted in yellow, is in this column. So you'll notice that you have an extension column, a login column, a logical number column, and an IP sub address column. Okay, every piece of information will go to specific places on the phone programmer. So let me bring the phone programmer back up, and that's how we do here. Now, you got this maintenance menu, you have options here, and then you have the system data menu. Under the system data menu, you have a link that's called connection data. Connection data, when you click it, it will show up in the main screen here, and you'll see connection data item. It says IP sub IP address. The IP sub is the type of card that your phone connects to inside of a phone system. It's basically an extension card that works over the internet. And there'll be some information here, which is the IP address. Now, this is, as you can see here, relevant to the Fort Lauderdale. I want to take this information, erase it, and put in this information over here. How do we do that? Well, I can very simply right-click the info. I can copy it, and I'll come back to my programmer, and I'll highlight this information right here. I can erase it. I can then right-click and paste, and that information is there. That's the only piece you have to change. The port number, leave alone. Once you change it, you click set. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to change the setting? You'll click OK. Setting complete. That part is done. The next part that you're going to come into is the KT control data right here. And if you notice, it's going to tell you an IPKT logical number. This is the only part that we have to concern ourselves with. Now this information, you see the number 180? Again, this is relevant to the information for Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to take out the 180. I'm going to go into the Salt Lake logical number, and I'm going to put the number 80 in there. So I go back to my programmer, I erase this, and I put 80, and now I click set. You sure you want to change the setting? Yes, I am. Setting complete. Once you have done that, you've put the information relevant to Salt Lake City. You can now come right over here to the very top menu item, which is SL registration. And what we're going to do at this moment is click set. In other words, I want to take my registration information and I want to write it into the Salt Lake City phone system. I click set. Are you sure you want to change the setting? Okay. SL registration complete. At this moment, if you look at your IP phone, it will say the date and the time, and it'll also say Omega Travel Salt Lake City. That tells you that you are now connected to the Salt Lake City phone system. And we'll go to part 2. Thank you.